Hey, Mama Bear. All right, hold on. There we go. All right, there we go. Hey, Be Charming. Got to end my other stream abruptly. I had a little bit of an emergency at home and couldn't really hear with everything. Hi, B.
Hey,
Hey.
I've never done this on my phone before.
Okay, well, are you driving or riding?
I'm sitting. Look at my hair.
Right, but are you going to be driving the car or a passenger?
I'm going to be sitting for an hour and a half for Megan to go to therapy.
Oh, Megan's got therapy. I knew that child was fucked up.
Nope, she got something handed to her that was on a bad deal, and somebody's going to get in trouble for it.
Oh, damn.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, I can't talk shit. I go to therapy too. Hey, Lady Kashka. I thought you were lighting a cigarette.
Me?
Yeah, I saw the straw, but I was taking a sip and putting my cup down, and I saw it just out of like a glance. I'm like, I didn't think
I
Mama
like
Bear.
that.
Yeah.
Nope. I used to a long time ago for about a month, and that didn't work out, so I quit.
Yeah. I was
I
hoping
can't see
Susanna and them would pop back up because I wanted to tell them I apologize. I had to abruptly end. I threw a message up. I don't know if they got to see it or not, but I had a
Oop.
kind of an emergency phone call from at home. So
You are okay. There. Um, no, I had to go earlier because my best friend came over with her two kids. So sorry I didn't get to say goodbye. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
I was
okay.
reading. Sorry, Vex. I didn't know how to do that. I couldn't hear my wife, and you guys were right in my ear, and I couldn't figure out how to do that shit. So everybody understands I am not that technologically advanced.
We figured out. We figured the emergency was either in Arkansas, and if it was real bad emergency, you just cut everybody off. That's just common
I
sense.
I I threw a message up there. Family emergency. Gotta go. So I wasn't trying to cut anybody off. I was enjoying the stream and everything.
hmm Hey, Mama Bear,
Hey, how are ya?
pretty good.
Whoever jumped in, you're welcome to jump back up. I'm just not that fast. Sorry.
We're
Is
talking about
everything
money,
okay
Bear.
at home?
Huh?
Oh, here they are.
I was wondering if everything's okay at home.
Oh yeah. She ain't yelled at me yet. I'm waiting on it. I got
No,
three
she's
more hours.
talking about me, Dippy.
To
She's talking about me, Goober. I had a family emergency. I had to get off the phone and or off the live, and yeah, they're all alive. I'm not too fucking happy about what happened, but I'm not gonna put it out there on here.
Yeah, please don't. If you don't want it to be
God
out there.
damn it!
Yeah, as far as StreamYard
I
goes,
hate
if you clicked on the StreamYard and it basically shows where you can re-enter the studio, and you could have tapped on that and came right back in and started live streaming again.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Susanna. Well, I want to apologize to you guys. I wasn't trying to. I was not mad at anybody. I had a family emergency. I tried
That's
to throw it
okay.
up and leave it up long enough for somebody to see, but yeah, something happened at
put it in.
home.
I put it in chat for you.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it.
No worries.
He quit.
Ah.
Well, at least somebody knows how to operate the
Hi,
electronics.
Mama Bear.
Hi.
We were having a great chat backstage, by the way.
And I
The unfortunate problem was it was still coming through my headset, and I didn't know if my headset would be coming through there. And what happened at the house, I didn't want going out over StreamYard or YouTube, and
Right.
Um,
Nice to meet you, Mama Bear.
nice to meet you.
um,
So if you're on a phone and you have to you can't see chat. I mean, you can see it at the bottom, but you can't see it on the screen.
who's lost product? I ain't
Hello,
seen,
everybody in chat.
huh?
Who is he?
Yeah, I ain't seen him in a long time.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. I think the last time I saw him, he was kind of fighting with everybody in Dangerous's stream.
That was the day you popped on and he turned around and said something about, this. I just turned around.
who's that?
The lost product. Oh,
Oh,
I jumped off air because a lady jumps on and I'm going like, well, she's got to be on. I got to switch. That makes it easy on her. And I didn't give a shit who she was. He just turned around. Oh, you did that because she's pretty. After that, I got to know him real good, real quickly. I had to figure him out.
Mhm.
West Virginia's a pretty nice area, though.
so you got to drive a 75-foot tractor trailer that weighs 80,000 pounds up and down them damn hills. Then it kind of sucks a little bit.
Yeah,
Whoever's backstage, hold on a second.
when you're going slow, you just make sure you stay slow. Unless you want to try to do the Mad Hatter's way of doing it.
Off road. Whee!
Hi, Wizard.
I like that picture.
Sorry about that, Wizard. I kind of had a family emergency.
Why are they all trying to want to talk on the phone?
So what you been doing, Mama Bear?
Took the daughter to therapy. Okay, right now I'm sitting in the car.
Oh, shit.
Thinking about zucchini and pepper stead and rubbing his nipples.
There you are.
Yeah, we were wondering if you had to take an emergency
There I
dump or
am.
something, man.
No, I'd have just turned the
So
camera off and
I'm
take a
sorry, I
dump.
locked myself out of here and now I'm back. What did you say?
Oh, I said, they asked what you've been up to. I said, thinking about zucchini and
Oh,
pepper
I
stead and
can't
rubbing
hear
his
you.
nipples. Oh, shit. Can you hear me now?
I can
Oh,
hear you.
Yeah,
Mm.
We
you're
can hear
good.
you.
okay. Thought I had signal. I said, Mama Bear was thinking about zucchini and pepper stead and rubbing his nipples. Oh, she dropped down.
I'll
Okay,
be right,
Yeah,
I'll be
she's
right
gonna
back.
refresh.
I'm going to get something to drink.
Okay.
okay. Grab me something too.
You can wash that bad taste out of your mouth.
Hey, man.
You know.
Lady, I did get a kick out of that one day you and all the ladies was talking about life and how y'all supposed to do this and do that. Y'all lost me on it. Bring up past. I go like, I can't do the past. Y'all had me all messed up.
Hey, Mama Bear, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
A little soggy.
Can you
and
hear
wet
me
here
now,
in North
Mama Bear?
Carolina.
Yes, I can hear you now. Sorry about that. I don't know. I've never done it from my phone before. So I apologize.
Oh, you've
I'm
done
gonna-
it with your phone before. Don't tell us that. We saw them videos. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make jokes to take light off of what's going on at home, but it ain't working.
I'm sorry something happened at home, but I'm sure you'll take care of it and it'll all work itself out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The problem with some of the phones and connecting to StreamYards is they like to lose connection even though you're sitting still. Sometimes you just got to refresh it.
Well, I'm learning real quickly that storm that's supposed to be hitting everywhere ain't hitting shit. It ain't even got hot out here. It ain't even rained. It's supposed to rain all day today in North Carolina. It backfired.
Yeah, we're getting it here in Central.
Stopped for over half an hour and I didn't bother to get my damn sunglasses. Oh well.
Well, you can't put that sucker on automatic pilot and go grab them.
No, it ain't that sophisticated.
Maybe
Damn,
one
Mama Bear,
day.
you don't go nowhere without your vodka and tonic and shit, do you?
She's smart.
Taco Bell unsweetened iced tea.
Oh,
And vodka.
Long Island iced tea. Gotcha.
You give me too
You
much
can't pull
credit.
very much over on this group.
She got her a can of twisted tea and put it in a cup. Good girl. Get rid of the can. No evidence.
You give me too much
3 more
credit.
months. 3 more months, I'll have me a new steel. I won't have to worry about making anything. I'll just be making. That 190 sounds real good. Well, what y'all think about our new government?
I
New?
think we're gonna get one real soon.
Damn. Talk about sucking the oxygen out of the chat, man. Holy fuck a duck.
Well, let's go back to the chat.
You got to think,
Out
JB
of 5 of
Mustard,
us, one of us got to remember where we were. Sorry, Cherokee.
he's
They're
got to be
talking about boobs.
He's got to be from that area they call Venus. No, we can't even count him Venus. What's that damn planet? The farthest planet we got out there, the 9th planet. What's that damn planet's name?
Uranus?
And you talking about Pluto or Nibiru?
Yeah, Pluto. That's where he come from. He could be that bright. I mean, we got every one of them right there now. We can just go in and just chain them up. We probably can find out what's in space before we find out what's going on in the government.
Now they found out there's a big old plasma field on the outskirts of our solar system. I don't know if you guys are familiar with plasma, but plasma is superheated gas and other things, and it's essentially a barrier around the whole solar system outside the Oort cloud and all that.
Plasma.
Oh, sure.
Plasma. You use what's that? That big old plate they've been messing with in Europe. That circles around. You can break atoms. You can make plasma. out of it.
The Hadron Super Collider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they use that to actually fracture our reality, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Well, you got to think about those. They always talked about it, and then they turn around and talk about how they can make plasma. It ain't but 16 grams, and that would destroy all of planets. Well, if you got it out there in space, why don't you just get it from space and bring it back? You can tell what you weapon right there. Think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, the plasma
Now,
field
correct me if
is
I'm wrong, but doesn't plasma need like? Go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Doesn't plasma need oxygen to
Yep.
combust?
No. As a matter of fact, you can look at it as simple as the sun. The sun has an outer sphere of plasma itself, and then as it goes down towards the center, it gets hotter and hotter. And basically makes everything in there liquefied.
Yeah, but that's
All
what
right,
it's
you're
talking.
talking cold fusion.
You're using the oxygen in the land and the trees and stuff, is what he just said, oxygen confusion, and it's crushing it all in. That's all you need for plasma. You bring the earth and just set it off once. You can
No,
just,
not quite. But
because you think about it, that's
Yeah.
16 grams. We're talking about like 20 grams. That would disintegrate Earth.
Hmm.
Be perfect energy.
I'm not exactly following on that.
yeah, I'm a little lost.
Are you talking about antimatter?
Plasma. Remember, plasma
Oh.
grows. More it feeds to air, the plasma gets larger and larger. Antimatter does the same thing, but it's just a little bit different.
Oh, are you talking
Well,
about
you
the
always have
temperature
to
of the
have something-
plasma actually igniting the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
See?
Hi, Crazy
Yeah,
Irish.
if we could... I'm sorry?
Oh no, I was just saying
Hey,
hi to
Crazy.
someone.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's. Yeah.
That's some powerful shit.
Sorry, I forgot my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
I
Is
want
the
to see
link
that.
up? You wanna come in, Crazy?
Because
I can't see
How
the
many of
chat.
y'all want to see a quantum supercomputer? I want to see one of them. Because they don't supposed to be very big, so I like to see one.
I don't think she can come in.
who wants to come in?
No, we were talking about Crazy Irish, but I don't think she can come in right now.
Oh.
Is she in a timeout or is it nap time or what?
No, I thought she was gone somewhere, but I'm not sure. But
This
I don't know.
playground rules.
She has
I
grandma's
forget
today.
what.
Grandma
Oh yeah,
Tuesday.
today's Tuesday. Yeah.
When we're going to start seeing Bigfoot,
She be back by now. Well,
man,
what do I know?
Vax. When we're going to start finding Bigfoots and lizard people and, the praying mantis humans, when do you think we're going to be seeing them?
I don't know. I'd probably give it around maybe a year, 2 years, just depending on how ebb and flow of our society goes. Quite frankly, I do believe that there are aliens in our system and stuff like that. I don't know the intricacies of it because, quite frankly, as far as I know, I've never run into an alien, although my ex-girlfriend may be considered one. But
You must have been dating my
Wait a minute, is that
ex-wife.
by AOC standards or Trump standards?
You know, AOC is
Now, I wouldn't mind having that girl in government. She'd probably be a new species. When I got finished, she'd be walking all fours anyway. I don't have to worry about
TMI.
her.
yeah, as far as aliens go, though, I wouldn't be surprised a bit if a lot of these stories we've heard are actually true. Because, I've already talked about interdimensional beings and things like that that have been plaguing our existence from the beginning of time. But
I don't think
I
they're
don't
going to
know.
look like monsters. I don't think they're going to look like monsters. They're going to be more like what we are and what we saw. Maybe, and I say big maybe, what we saw on Star Trek.
Yeah, I would
No,
I would go along. Oh, go ahead, Mama.
I think
after
we've been
Go ahead.
hidden from. I think a lot of things have been hidden from us for at least 75 years, and we have to be open to it, or we're going to be terrified by it. So I'm open to it. Show me what you got. Prove to me you are what you are, or whatever. Because
That's what I've been
I'm not
wanting to see.
afraid of it. I don't want to live in my life in fear or being afraid of anything. So show me your existence. Show me what you do. Except don't take me in a spaceship and probe at me. I don't want that. But anything else I'm open too.
I mean, Mama Bear, you never know. You might like that little probing. Just saying, maybe they know something about us we don't know.
Might be about that big.
Oh, they definitely do.
If we're like being drip fed these aliens for like
Right.
75 years,
Right.
and now all these like cockpit voice recorders and video recorders from F-18 are seeing these craft, but more importantly, if the government had to classify something, wouldn't they classify the truth? And then, so many years later, now they declassify it. I don't even know. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was looking at though. But I have to agree with Mama Bear. I have to see it, and if it said it's an alien and it did look like a monster, like I'd have to make sure one time. I just say, don't get mad at me. I'm just gonna touch you my way, and I'll know if you're real or not. And I try to bring it to y'all. That'd be the first thing I do, try to bring it to y'all. But
I don't know.
I've seen some things, and I doubt myself a lot. I know I wasn't on drugs, and no, I wasn't drinking. I've never been a big drinker, and I've never done the only time I've ever done anything was, taking some gummies or brownies in the last 3 years for my neuropathy in my feet. That's the only time. And this is stuff that's happened when I was little, all the way up to my late teens. And these things are hard to explain. You can never, when it happens to you, you automatically know that you can never tell another person and make them believe it, because it's something you yourself wouldn't believe.
Right.
Oh yeah.
In that same vein, all the stuff that we've been seeing that have been put out in the news as far as the fighter jets and their cockpit recordings and all that stuff, it's all been manipulated. As a matter of fact, this one guy, I don't know if anybody's heard of him, Secure Team 10 on YouTube. He's actually went through and checked out a bunch of these films that they put out to the public. And you can actually see that it's manipulated in the way. I don't know if we got some military guys up here, right?
My dad was in the
FLIR
military
system.
for 17 years. Yeah, forward-looking
I'm talking about-
infrared radar.
Exactly. Well, you can take that
forward-looking
and manipulate
infrared.
it, tweak it. Yeah, you can tweak it just a little bit, and it makes it look like a weird flying saucer, when in all actuality, it's a 747 flying.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's-
there's
and that's-
film
and that's-
tricks.
And that's the thing.
Go ahead.
It's these things. I know that those things happen, and I know a lot of other people know that things happen, and I think that it makes it. They knowingly knew that it would invalidate the people who really were seeing things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Propaganda,
Or-
and,
This-
misinformation.
Right. And
The CIA.
just like if anybody's heard my story before of that part of it anyway, seeing something in the sky, then you know that I do not subscribe to anything really. I don't know what it is. It's exactly what it is, a UFO. It's unidentified. I cannot explain what it is. I still doubt myself because you just do. It's just you know. It's
Well, how
just
can
one
you
of those
doubt
things.
yourself when it
Even
was in the daytime?
even
and
though my
you were
husband's
driving with
seen
your
it,
husband?
yeah. Even though my husband's seen it and explained it, I still, because it's just one of those things that you experience, you don't expect it. I was expecting something else. I didn't expect what happened at all. And sometimes I still look at him and go, "Are you sure you saw?" Even though he explained it to me exactly as I seen it.
Me, the way I look at it is certain military groups, I do know they got them, that has 3D cameras, and you can aim it at a damn airplane. And it can be at a certain distance, and they can use that laser beam to make a 3D image, and that thing will actually go from airplane to vanish, and then all of a sudden there's a UFO, and you're going like, what the heck? It's
Right.
three.
And I even mentioned that. And that's not the only thing. There was a government car involved. There was a government person involved in what had happened to me, and what I seen anyway. And it put a lot of, if anything, it put a lot of questions in my mind, because what I seen resembled almost nothing of what I seen on TV or what most other people described. Rarely did I ever hear anyone describe something exactly that looked like what I saw.
You think that's because we were
I
alive?
can reinforce. Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I can reinforce that for you. I've seen a UFO. It was about the size of a bus. One of those public transportation buses, and it was a cylinder with rounded edges, rounded ends, and it was, I believe, the way it was flying, it stayed on a steady trajectory, and it stayed at a steady speed, and basically, from what I saw, it reminded me of a drone transport, like something that was automated and that could carry cargoes or passengers. That's, the bus aspect of it, the size of it, reminded me of exactly that.
There is an area where you can pull up. I forgot where it is, but I know I've seen it on Blink once, where it shows you all the sightings of what they say they saw. And it shows you from A to Z all the ships. But you have to look at them. And if they can call them, then you should be able to know what they are.
Mine was a perfect rectangle. A perfect rectangle. And it was constantly moving, like, it's hard to describe. Like, seriously, really hard to describe. But it was constantly moving on the inside while maintaining a shape. Who the fuck sees a flying rectangle? And then it looks like swirling, like mercury, like when like oil, when you see oil on the ground and it swirls. Well, that's what it was doing in the sky. That's what it looked like in the sky. It was like swirling, but it was more like silvery. It was more silvery colored, but it maintained.
That's an anti-gravity machine.
But it maintained a perfect rectangle shape. And to me, it would look either like they put some sort of thing up in the sky to make it look like that, or they were following something that was cloaked. And it was just crazy, because the government car, the guy's closing his trunk when we passed by,
right?
And you go back around 2005, 2006. I was outside in my backyard. I saw the pyramid. It's bigger than a city fly by, and what got me is it's jet black like everything else, but you can see the stars on the edge around it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what you see, and it's just taking its time going. Nobody paid attention to it, and I'm going like, damn, this just went right over a city, and nobody even pays attention because they're seeing the stars. They ain't looking at the missing stars.
Yeah.
Well, there's a YouTube video out there, an interview with a reptilian female, and she said that if you see a cylindrical craft of some sort, that's the reptilian one, and if it's triangle, it's usually ours. But if you see one, it means that there's something wrong with their cloaking facilities in the craft or whatever. Because they're really trying to keep themselves secret for obvious reasons.
Well, one of the things you can bank on is that if lots of people see it, it's meant to be seen.
Yeah.
If one person sees it or nobody's paying attention and doesn't, see it, then chances are it's pretty legit. But you have to remember one thing for the future. Rivets are not space worthy. So if you see a craft up close and there are rivets in it, chances are it's not a space worthy vessel and it's one of ours.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with that 100%.
And
That's
those are
like
things that aren't known. Those are things we need to know. So thank you for sharing.
if you think about it, though, me, I like going out in the woods. I hunt and everything else. Until I got married and I made a mistake. I like the woods more. I like being in a city area. But I have
Amen.
people sit there and watch me at Davy Tree, and we'll be going to certain areas over at Kings Mountain. And even Duke Power, which is Galvin's daddy, that's where he worked at. He's one of the big CEO guys. I had to call him and ask him about these plants that we had that was neon in the morning. And they get real red and then they just die out. But if you go across them, it'll burn the shit out of you. And we couldn't find that plant nowhere. And then we got over to another area and looked at this water, which is a big old, like a rock quarry. The water in there, we went swimming in it, and I got everybody to get back out because I started looking at it and noticed there's freshwater jellyfish. There shouldn't be no jellyfish there. And that's when we was asked to leave by some truck drivers. And I'm going like, there can't be no damn truck driver on this much land. We go back out there 6 weeks later, everything's been burned down. The water's been electrocuted. So whatever was moving around like jellyfish disappeared. And Duke Power was
the line between. Sorry.
Well, that's what got me is I asked Duke Power about it, and they just told us we're not allowed to back up in that area. We cleaned it once. They said they're going to take care of it, and it was military. So I was going like, okay. I was going to go back and get that damn boat. All right, see that boat out in the woods. I was going, I'll take that damn thing myself. You know, you got
Sorry.
You got to think when you're out in the woods, if you're out in the woods, though, and you feel something, like I tell my friends, like when I get in a certain area, I say, don't go out in this area and go down in the bushes and go under it because of snakes. But then I had to think, something's telling me not to go that way. It's give you a damn good scent. I mean, you get an eerie stomach feeling and it just says, just back off of this area and move somewhere else. That's where I start thinking about aliens. Because if I can't see it.
Well, we also. Sorry, I keep on interrupting you. I'm sorry about that.
But think about it. If I can't see it and something's actually giving me hints not to go there, there's something there.
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying, but what were you going to say, Vex?
Yeah, go ahead, Vex.
Well, I was going to add in that the line between our reality and other dimensions is a very thin one. And I think that's where seeing ghosts and things like that come into play. I don't think we're actually seeing ghosts. We're seeing echoes. And it's a different reality, and there could be stuff that is right next to you that you would never, ever see just because we're not built to see it in the other dimensions. So the line between it can be traversed. It can be navigated, but it takes a little forethought and knowledge and a lot of stuff that they don't want us to know about to actually figure it out for ourselves. So, yeah, right. Confusing the situation.
So how do we do that?
Well, that's the.
I do think some people are seeing impressions as well. Sorry, because people don't know the difference.
Right.
Do you think?
Well, that's what the.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go, Mom.
Do you think?
Yeah.
And I've always felt this way, so I want to know what other people think. Do you think you can feel the presence of another being? I mean, you say we can't see ghosts, but do you think we can feel them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most certainly.
It'd be like the aura when a person's in a bad mood or a good mood. That's what gets me when I'm in the woods. I start noticing shit like that.
Right.
But there is something that actually been proven by scientists, but I don't know if I can find it on the internet. We got colors like a rainbow all around us. But if it moves, shifts, and you walk right into it, it'll actually destroy you.
Yeah.
Well, you got to look
at like that shorty here.
Yeah.
You weren't here when we were talking about that earlier, that we're bioelectric beings, since we have a pulse, and you can measure brain waves and all that kind of thing, and we do have a heartbeat and all that. So if way back in the primordial ooze we could be like telepathic, it was a lot easier for us to see and hear and smell and talk, which made that telepathy, or however we use that, kind of atrophied. So we feel it, but we don't understand it or can't remember how to actually receive it. I mean, we're receiving it as like a bad vibe, but we don't know how to, like, if you're telling me something right now, I get the vibe, but I can't read what it is. It's kind of like almost on the cusp of it. That
Yeah,
kind of
like, empath. That's what I am, an empath.
So am I.
Well, if you want,
I think it'd be a little bit more than empathy, but I get what you're saying, most certainly.
the base of it is intuition.
Right.
Well,
Back 100 years ago, we
I
had
agree with you.
Yeah. Back 100 years ago, we had intuition, and people went with their gut. That's where the saying came from.
Right.
And nowadays, people don't understand it because we've been cut off because, we've talked about the pineal gland being encrusted and cutting us off from our source. We'll just put it that way. And so, yeah, it has a definite effect on how we perceive the world around us. And the more dumbed down we are, the less we're able to see it.
Yeah, I've
So,
actually I've got this plumber friend that him and his buddies were talking and drinking one night, and he's like, you ever noticed that, like, all the sickness that's been happening in, like, the last, I don't know, 20 years or so, or 15 years? Because people are going from copper pipes to this PEX pipes in your house, and we're not getting something from the, like, low copper levels, and that's what's making people, like, all, foolish in their head, I guess.
Copper, silver.
Yeah, we're so mineral deficient, it's incredible. We can get vitamins all day long, but it's very hard for us to get, like, magnesium, manganese, chromium. If it's not already in the soil, how can it be in our food? And we're never replenishing
And I
those
take
minerals.
chromium every day.
And real salt is blue, and we'll be eating this other fake salt.
Yeah. But, deficiencies are a very big problem. The food pyramid that we were all taught as youngsters, maybe, then, all that's crap. It was all made up a long time ago, and it was rationalized into effect. The stuff that you get in the stores, the grocery stores, the vitamins and all the nutrients that, everybody's, 1-a-day vitamins and all that stuff, those are all crap. They're hard for the body to absorb, and they're made purposefully that way so that we are deficient. One of the best places I found, there are other places, but one of the best places I found for vitamins and nutrients is the most potent sources is go to InfoWars store. They got good shit. They really do.
Yeah,
I don't care if
when you're buying this stuff, that the human body microdoses. It doesn't need milligrams. I mean, we're talking micrograms. So a lot of the stuff that you're eating, it's just giving you, like, really expensive waste.
Well, you can think about most of our food right now. You can think about most of our food right now is the nutritional equivalent of ramen noodles. Done. Yeah. You might as well eat cardboard.
Agreed, but you still the mega doses that you're giving yourself may help, but I'm sure that it's 1,000 milligrams more than you need at that moment.
To a point,
because our body can only absorb so much stuff at so much rate. So I'm just thinking,
exactly,
just a theory.
Right, you know Dr. Gruber, don't you?
Say that again.
Dr. Gruber.
Yeah.
That's the one I usually talk to a lot. He's actually got a certain area where he can actually contact me on certain things on my telephone. But he told me when I want to do certain things, he just turned around and told me, "Why don't you just go back to old natural, period. You want corn,
Yeah.
get corn on the cob. If you want tomatoes, get real tomatoes. Greens, roll them. That's the way you do it. And break it down by using, well, why I keep tearing them up, the blender, and leave it on there for like 5-10 minutes to make it really small. Then your body can take it naturally. Don't do like some of my friends tried to do. They sit there and they even did the meat. They would even blend the meat so they didn't have to cook that much. They just sit there and drink it and go that way. And I'm going like, well, that ain't going to help you. It's going to come out quicker.
Yeah, the megadoses of nutrients and stuff like that. Yeah, you can only absorb so much. Your body will only allow it so much to be absorbed. But the good thing about the natural nutrients and vitamins is that it doesn't matter because, quite frankly, to put it crudely, you piss and shit them out. So anything extra goes through your body naturally. But the point is, if you don't get the nutrients in the beginning, then you're going to be deficient, and it's going to cause your cells not to produce correctly. That's where mutations come in. That's where all the cancers and all that stuff. Your cells don't have the proper nutrition to do its job correctly, so it fails.
I completely agree.
That's just all there is to it.
That's why I eat a lot of raw ginger and turnip root. I eat a lot of it all the time. Most of my friends don't know why, but that's one of the major things that does fight cancer. And it does go in your body real quick. Now, I did learn one thing. When we go back to something like this right here, it don't get out of your body. All 4 areas, even I looked at it, now ain't no way it's going to come out of your body.
Yeah, one of the best things you can do nowadays is do cleanses and do them one at a time. Liver cleanse, lung cleanse, all that stuff, one at a time. And each time you do a cleanse, you must put back the nutrients you've cleansed out. Most people don't even think about that.
They don't.
It's like
the reason why these guys are saying that these cleanses are bad for you, because people are, doing these cleanses and they're becoming anemic. They're getting like low blood pressure or something like that. They just don't do enough research, and it's a good idea, but they just need to do 5 or 10 minutes more research so they're not hurting themselves in the process.
Yeah. Well, maybe
I could give you.
The way I do that is I fast for like 3 or 4 days, 3 times a year. 3 or 4 days I'll fast, and then I'll go back with fruits first and then vegetables second, and then meat third, and then leave it as is anytime I want it then.
Yeah, that's perfect right there. Fasting is one way to allow your body to do healing.
Right.
Your digestive system takes up so much energy, and we're taught to have 3 meals a day and stuff like that. All that's wrong. We were built, we were grown in a way that encourages our bodies to heal itself. One of those ways is to fast. We were meant to carry nuts and berries along with us as we traveled and eat just a little bit at a time all day. That way your digestive system isn't ramping up and consuming a lot of energy. Yeah. Right now we're the opposite way of what we should be doing. If you were doing things correctly, you should fast at least every other day. Just to rejuvenate your body.
Be 57
Would you
years
mind
old,
if I
can't do nothing.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
Which one? Me or Wizard?
Both of you, actually.
Okay, I'll say mine, and Wizard come back and hit it with what he said. See, I'm 57 years old. I even got my chart. What the doctor said, I'm in perfect health. But a lot of people my age can't do nothing like that I'm doing because I grew up doing this stuff. So I just made it an everyday factor. Like if I decide to go break bricks, which I usually go hit concrete, people don't do that. Their hands can't handle it. Their immune system of the body don't heal at all. They go pick up something. I know I can max out at 600, but I'll go 300. Everybody else will be going like, hey, we're getting your age, but we can't do what you're doing. I'm going like, because you didn't stay working. You're supposed to stay working constant. Even when you're retired, you still find something to match the workload. Keep your body normal. Yes. And then you do your diet. Your eating habits and your working habits should be the same.
Hmm.
But nobody does that no more. That old saying, work hard. Well, I ain't gonna say it the way my friends say it, but you can say bang bang harder and just go back for seconds. Most guys, you look at them today, I work hard. Oh, forget her. Nah. And she can be all over, and he's going like, nah. Too tired. And a woman's a little bit better than guys when it comes to working. A woman can outwork a woman when it comes down to multitasking. I love watching that. You sit there, do this, and then you say, let's do this. When she's dead tired, she'll say, forget it. And that's it. I like that. So you see, to play hard, work hard, and play hard, that actually works out right for both parties. It's just knowing exactly what you're doing. That's why they don't get in fights.
Yeah.
Now, how many times you notice that teenagers, all up to 40-year-olds, they're having all this marriage problems without talking to each other?
Mm-hmm.
Any of y'all notice that?
Well, yeah, that goes along with the big picture of they don't want us to communicate. All these relationships are being put together by the people in the relationships when it's, well, I'll put it bluntly, it's getting with a person and having sex and thinking that sex is the foundation of a relationship when it's not.
Mm-hmm. Sex should be the last thing, but what got me is I noticed this is what's stopping all my friends in their marriages. That's the only thing that keeps stopping them. And I'm going like, damn, I've been married 20-something years. And my wife, she don't even talk to me unless she decides to knock on the door and say, hey, I want you out of the man cave. I got you to do something. And then me and her have a business discussion. You can't get none of my friends to do that with their old ladies. And the women the same way.
Communication is key.
I wonder what Prepper said he's doing. It sounds like he's blowing on something. You hear him?
Yeah.
He broke out the drill dough.
Hey, that's what I was thinking.
I was going to say something. I've been waiting for damn long. I forgot what I was going to say.
I hate it when that happens.
Now, Cherokee, you're just fucking long-winded, goddammit.
I do that qigong. You know that qigong's that kung fu that just powers up the body. Rub your tummy for a while, take a deep breath, rub your tummy. That's where your electricity comes from, your gut.
Oh, fuck?
One of the things I've learned in the past 10 years is that, back before I was gotten into supplements and all that stuff, I was actually sick at no less than twice a year, sometimes 4 times a year. But once I started getting on the supplements and giving my body what it needs, then I haven't been sick since.
Yep.
And honestly, it's. I mean, I'm 50 years old. I feel like I'm 30. And when I was 30, I felt like crap.
Damn, you sound like you're 20.
Thanks.
Hey, see this right here? Blood pressure.
There you go.
786. Glucose, 99 milligrams. Cholesterol, 199. Body composure, 15. Bone massity, 5. Fat, 19. Body weight, 160. That's pretty damn good.
160, my right nut.
I am one. I ain't but 5'9". I'm a small little B-word.
Oh, shit. I thought you were 6 foot tall, and I'm like, man, you're going 220, boy.
Yeah, before I got on supplements, I weighed 250. Now I weigh 150.
Damn. It's like you're half the person you were.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Crystal meth is not a supplement. I don't care what the hell the dope man told you.
Says you. But one of the things that I experimented with when I first started getting into supplements, because I'm a scientist at heart, at least, and I treated it like an experiment. At the time, I was probably right around 200, and I started taking iodine. Iodine will melt fat from your body quick as fuck. I
So I got a bottle of iodine up there. I should drink that.
Right?
Well, you
Drink
know
it.
why that is, right?
Boy,
3 drops a day.
You know why the iodine does that?
Oh, go ahead.
there you go.
Because
buddy.
it energizes the thyroid, and your thyroid regulates your metabolism. If you up your
Exactly.
metabolism, it's bringing out or burning more fat, actually more stored fat as a primary fuel source.
The way it was intended.
Agreed.
Yeah, the thyroid is a key little thing in your body. I mean, you keep that clean, you can stave off radiation. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why my heart goes out to all these women that got misdiagnosed for like some kind of like hypo or hyperthyroid, and they go in there and put them on Synthroid and all these drugs
Yeah.
and everything. And I'm like, if you would have just, did the basics first and not, listen to the doctor and been right on meds, because that Synthroid is making your thyroid actually like atrophied. And
Yeah.
obviously the hormones don't help. And, women tend to be a little bit more sensitive
Hormonal?
but sensitive to cortisol. And cortisol, you can run your body on it for a very short time, and it'll run really well. That's the fight or flight to get you out of Dodge, But here's the other problem. You can run, a Ferrari on diesel fuel. It'll run really great for a very short time. And then you have to do the engine maintenance on it. So
Yeah.
lowering your stress, which in turn will lower your cortisol, and hopefully, the thyroid will come back as it should, because the human body wasn't meant to be on medications.
Nope.
Well, you got to think.
Especially
everybody-
synthetic medications.
Y'all get a kick out of it. You think about it, though. Everybody is on medication. Only a few hundred, with let's say 100 million. The rest of them, they already been hit with so much drug, it's pathetic.
Now, I'd be willing to bet, Stedding's paycheck, that if you came
Bet
out,
my fucking paycheck.
hey, I'm telling you, that all the people that
Bet your
got
own.
vaxxed, all the people that got sick after being vaxxed, I bet you they were on some kind of meds, and their immune system was like really piss poor.
Well,
That's about
right.
death numbers. When you look at the death numbers on that, you have to agree with it. And then you look at the age carrier, they keep saying, they really don't even tell you the ages no more. So it has to be something wrong with their bodies.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I was
if you
thinking-
take that vaccine, oh, sorry.
I was taking just the human body and not all the other variables like environment, job, age, sex, all that stuff. I was just doing the actual human being itself as like a baseline. And then you start putting in like, are they alcoholic, diabetic, are they married?
Yeah.
Not a laugh. This is a fucking tough room. Jesus.
Yeah, I laughed.
I did, but I laughed to myself.
I'm trying to pay attention to traffic. I got a slow mover here, and I'm trying to cook and get back over. And, these idiots out here don't know what a fucking turn signal looks like because they haven't used one in 15 years. They think the shit's
Well, get
special
the hell
equipment
off
on
the
their fucking
sidewalk.
vehicle. Oh, that's the. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Need a passenger, man, so you can get him with the door.
I try to get Moonlight or Mama Bear or somebody to come be my passenger, but nobody wants to ride with me.
Cash, gas,
Rub your
or
nipple
ass.
too much.
Well, I
What do
can't
you-
help it. Nobody will grab them for me.
What do you think how we're talking about?
Oh my
I have to
god.
go to Colorado, see if Stewie will grip them for me.
Yeah. Stewie would-
Oh,
Yeah,
Well,
sorry,
Becky,
sorry, Mama Bear
Becky
Strong.
is
That's
useless.
my personality. I'm kind of a wise ass.
Becky just doesn't have the finger strength, though.
Well, Becky has got a bunch of taped up holes.
Well, you know, she's gonna have to learn
What?
how to take one for the team.
She can't hold too much air.
I know. I'm gonna go to Virginia. Maybe I get Michael to pinch him for me.
Yeah. I
Just
won't
keep
tell
that
you
fucking
what he'll
zucchini
pinch 'em
away
with.
from me. What's that, Mama Bear?
I won't tell you what he'll pinch him with, but he'll do it.
I mean, hell, can't be no worse than jumper cables and a 12-volt diesel battery. Deep cycle.
Tell us about your Saturday hard turn.
Actually, truth is, I hooked one to my left nipple and one to my right testicle, and whoo!
What a thrill.
I'm telling you, want to talk about shock therapy?
Now you got to think. We put Chris right beside him. He'll be all tore up. He can do nothing for a month. Chris, but that's what got me about spaceships and aliens and our bodies. We have to think about it. Almost all of it. It makes sense in a way. How our government destroys everything, and then we sit there and listen to the aliens tell us what to do.
Well, they
Yeah.
said yesterday on Scott McKay show, the little snippet I got out of it was, and I do keto, which is just low carb, watch your sugars, eat your fruits and vegetables and meat, that those people will live past this thing they got in their arm, which I didn't get that thing in my arm.
Yeah.
But
It's called a
That's-
fucking vaccine.
No, it's not. It's called a DNA restructuring
yes.
device.
and those people
Oh,
are
okay,
not
well,
gonna
whatever
be,
we want to call it.
those people aren't going to be around. Those people, and I'm going to lose all of my family. And I cried yesterday, and my husband says it's going to be okay, and I tell him it's not going to be okay, but it's going to be okay. But I'm going to have to suffer
Loss.
a while till this happens. But I know how to eat now. I used to weigh 266 pounds. I was a big buffalo butt, and I'll be the first one to tell you. My husband said I had my own zip code. Now I don't, and I'm
Are you still
so
married?
glad that I know how to eat now.
Yeah.
So
Well, Mama Bear, I used to call my teacher that, and me and her was best friends. Every day I would say that to her, and she'd sit there and go like, "I'll outlive you." You know, I go, "Okay, we'll find out, Dad. I'll be dog." She's still around, but I'm still around too.
right, and I bet you're healthier than she is.
Well, in a way, I liked her for that one reason. I could call her that because it's the only one that figured me out. They put me in what they call anger management area. And the only thing I did to get put in there is that we had a guy bullying some girls, and I put a pencil through his palm right here, and that was it. And then she asked me how I like this classroom, and this is what it's about. I told her, I said, "Well, I just stopped the bully." And she sat there and watched me for a whole 2 years and said, "There's nothing wrong with him. He just, you start bullying around him and he don't like it, he just put a stop to it." That was it. He don't get mad. But I liked her. She's still good. She lives over there on Ice Potato Road. She's to be right around 75 or 78 years old. She's
Wow.
already still doing an acre of land farming, all by herself, no husband. She said she didn't need them.
Cheap date.
Oh yeah,
Older women know stuff.
yep. But I think she listened to her daddy and mom, and that's why she was that way. And being a school teacher, she didn't really like being a school teacher. She was more like, "I'll teach you your 5th grade stuff, and then look at me. I'll help him later." And I'd come after class and just sit around and talk to her, do my math,
Uh-huh.
got free answers.
Well, I'm sure she wanted to share her knowledge with you, and you seemed like a student she could share it with, and
Oh yeah.
it worked out for both of you. I mean,
Well, she agreed with me. I was copying my grandma and uncles and pawpaws. What I was doing is I stayed silent. I wouldn't talk because I was abused a little, but I was always in martial arts. So she agreed with me. The only thing I had to do is watch before I even think about marriage. Watch them and see where they made the mistake, so I don't get in that mistake. So far, she's been right. Everybody else has been right too. Them old people.
Just a little after school, tutoring. It's kind of like stuffing a, turkey.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did a little bit more when I got into high school. I found a couple of female teachers that could teach me a lot of education and never gave up any information. And they're all married and gone. So that's what I've been doing in my hometown. I've been watching obituary. And I notice who's here, who's not. All the people I grew up with in Kannapolis, they moved out of Kannapolis. They got booted out by the city or rezoned out. So they moved back towards the mountains, right on the other side of Yadkin River and Troy and Mount Gilliam.
No, back to aliens.
Yeah.
Leave my sister out of this.
I want to see one that looks like Predator for real walking up and down the street. I just want to be able to see what a man would do if they saw something like that.
I see one that looks like the one from the Aliens movie or from Predator. I'm coming out shooting. That's all I got to say. Because you got teeth shaped like that. Those teeth are not shaped for veggies.
Okay, so after I change my shorts, then I'm going to do whatever you guys are talking about.
Huh?
I probably I do a Bigfoot. I'll give him a beer and say, "Hey, drink this after I hit you in the face to cool you off." Then I figure out how to steal his spaceship. Y'all get off the planet. Vac, what would you do? Is he still here or is he completely muted himself out?
Vex? He's muted.
Yeah.
I didn't mute him.
he is.
Wasn't me. I didn't do it. I think he got a call or something.
All right,
Whenever he gets back.
So what do you all think of the Hadron Colliders and how many you think there are?
There's only one real one.
Because I heard there were at least 3.
Nah.
Well, I know of 2. There's one at CERN and
one in Russia.
The other one.
But both of them, only one actually works. The other one, they still for some reason it can't speed up like it's supposed to.
Okay, what do you think of the ritual they did?
Now that one right there, that was stupid. But it's also a ritual for Sheba. That's based on facts. So yeah, I think that was the wrong thing to do.
That was just like really fucked up. I mean, it probably would have been cool if I was like on acid or something, but
Yeah.
Chickens with feathers and chicks with horse heads, and that's just fucking weird.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty weird too. I seen some stuff, but I thought that was weird.
And orgies.
I mean,
and I
borderline
actually did have orgies
or something. I don't know what it is. I mean,
see, Sheba was Mother Nature in Hindu. My wife's Buddhist, and she watches it all the time. And the way I'm looking at it, she was the Mother Nature. She was the caregiver and all until you piss her off, and then she becomes Mother of Destruction and destroys everything that moves. That's why she's got 13 arms.
Are you sure you're not talking about my ex-wife?
Well, you got to remember, they got to multitask. They got to need more arms. Sweep, mop, cook, take care of the kids, change the diapers, do your laundry.
I know.
Y'all ladies going to have to check
Man, I just came back from taking a piss and come back to this? What happened?
Oh, we were talking about the Hadron Collider, and then we were talking about the ritual that they did outside of it.
Bathsheba.
Oh,
And how my ex-wife was a fucking goat with little rat claws.
ah.
That sounds like a leech.
See, and he was knowingly with this thing. So what the heck is going on here, Wizard?
Hey. I like
I'm
my-
lost
like-
as
I like
fuck
my
now.
country.
Zach, how many Sterns are they?
What kind of fucking drugs are you people on?
Nicotine?
Anyway, Vex, what do you think about the Hadron Collider?
How many of them?
How many do you think there are, and what did you think about the ritual that they did outside of it?
Well, I don't know much about the ritual, but as far as the Hadron Collider goes, I believe they used it to fracture our reality. In all seriousness, I think they are using it for nefarious purposes. Not to mention regular science, but that's for the regular scientists. Overall, they're using it to try and tap into 0-point energy and try and open a doorway for those dimensional beings that we were talking about earlier.
Okay, I believe a lot of that. You know why? Because I think I'm one of those people who felt it at one point. I
Yes.
felt it. Something went wrong. Something went really wrong, and it threw everything off course.
Yeah, see, the people with
That's
good
called your
intuition
period.
felt that shift. I felt that shift myself.
Squirrel.
I want to ask you a question. Do you think we'd be able to take out one of them damn dimensional people? Think about it. With our
Well,
technology
and all,
in our hands, do you think we'd be able to take one out?
actually,
I-
right now, yes. Absolutely,
they-
because they are not
I
able
believe
to
that.
live in our atmosphere, from what I've gathered anyway. Go ahead, I stepped on you, Susanna.
No, that's fine. You pretty much answered what I was gonna say anyway.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say y'all done got it the fuck out there, all right? Y'all like y'all.
It's what I do.
I mean, I'm just saying, y'all fucking whacked out your damn minds.
if you really think about it, though, if we
It's nice to be
have
noticed.
no wars, we didn't have no wars. We linked up with Russia, China, and put all the other nations with us and build us a damn spacecraft, or what called space station, and slowly move each nation to each one of them planets. It would take us long to go farther than what we're supposed to. But with all this bullshit, they ain't gonna never make it that far.
Well,
Really,
they
Lady
don't want to
Cass-
make it that far because. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just saw what Lady Cass put in the chat, and I'd really like to hear about that. You know, like she had a physical something happened to her, like it was pressing her down, like she almost had vertigo. Stuff like that is real when it gives you like physical symptoms and like a manifestation like that. Very hard to argue, that there's not some external stimuli happening there. Whether we'll understand it or not, I don't know.
Well,
If
what
somebody wants to drop the link, she's welcome to come up.
I'm on my phone, so I can't do it.
I'll do it.
think about it?
Technically,
If, we had a shift right there when the sun crossed America. Wait till that 2024 comes in. What that shift's going to look like?
I think it's just going to be more of the same.
I think we have a lot.
Something happens at home.
I think we have a lot more violence.
The person is very intelligent. It's people that scare the living fuck out of me because they're crazy and panicky and all sorts of shit. And then they get into like a crowd mentality and it just ain't right. It's the guys on the outsides that are kind of watching everybody. Those are the ones you got to worry about because they're like in tune to what's happening and they're not all up in their emotions and shit.
Yeah, that's the way I try and stay is on the middle of the road. One of my personal things that I've always been working on is personal balance within all things. I try not to let my emotions take over. I try not to let myself become totally cold-hearted. I try and stay in the middle of the road and adjust as necessary. Now, what I noticed is, like we were talking about before on the live stream you had going earlier, Prepper, things have changed in a big way, and it's affecting all the life on Earth, and we'll just say life in our solar system at very least. And basically, it's the people who are more emotional in general going to become even more so. So, in combination with what's been done to us, as far as dumbing us down, the fluoride in the water, all this stuff, misinformation, it kind of fits all in with everything. One of my favorite phrases is everything is connected, no matter what it is, from the universe itself to a rock on the beach. It's all connected, everything in between. And this is what these assholes, these evil pieces of shit, know this already, and they're trying to keep it from all of us. That's why I said earlier that they don't want us talking like this. They don't want us to exchange information. They don't want us to have any knowledge of this, because if they allowed it to happen, then we would have gotten rid of them a long time ago.
Yeah.
And the stranglehold that they have on me, I mean, we were just talking about health. I mean, we all know from what we've been discussing that our health has been seriously deteriorating in the past, we'll just put it easy and say 50 years. I know it's been a little bit longer, but for the past 50 years, they've been doing nothing but, I mean, for fuck's sake, fluoride is a poison to us. Yet they say, well, it makes your teeth brighter, so that's okay. No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay, and it needs to stop. Now, one of the things I'd like to bring up is the government has this phrase that should scare the fuck out of you.
Hi, Hutch.
And it hello. It's oh, damn it, I forgot what the saying is. Nuts.
I don't think that's the same.
Well, there's a saying.
Take saying, but not the one you wanted.
Right.
Would you mind if I said something while you're collecting your thought?
Please.
I think, and this is my personal opinion, that a lot of the preppers and survivalists and homesteaders and everything like that should start figuring out a solution instead of being a part of the propaganda problem and just regurgitating all of this MSN news and everything. We all are smart enough to see what's coming down the road. We've seen the scenarios. We've talked about the scenarios. One of them's got to happen. So at least we have heard it, and it's kind of on our radar. So it's not like it's going to be, going to come up from behind a dumpster and be like, oh shit, an EMP. Fuck, I wasn't ready for that, or whatever. But it's just this constant regurgitation of, what's happening in Afghanistan and Southern Africa and all this fucking bullshit. We got more shit to worry about on the home front porch than anything overseas.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, the shit going on overseas, you make a good point. We don't have any control over that. I mean, we can't just go and jump on an airline or go over there and try to help or do anything. So I agree with what you're saying. We need to focus more on here, but at the same time, we also got to get this dumbass government. Not just him. I mean,
whole thing.
I am not sticking up for Potato Head in any fucking way. So don't take this as such. But like I told people when it came down to the T-Man to Trump, I told people, I'm like, why don't you give the guy a chance? And I got called everything under the sun but fucking human by a bunch of left-wing liberal fucktards that were saying the exact same thing when Obama got elected. Hey, give him a chance. Well, they didn't remember that shit.
Oh, of course not.
But,
Goldfish memory.
Exactly. But, one thing everybody has to keep in mind is that is one man. He does not have 100% control. He cannot tell Congress, well, tough shit, fuck you if you don't like it, that's your problem, and do whatever he wants. Yeah, he can go throwing around executive orders, but to only to a certain degree. There are certain things that you cannot do. It's still, that's why we have 4 bodies of government: the president, Congress, Senate, and the Supreme Court on a federal level.
Hold on. I have to correct you on that.
You got it.
There's actually
before I
5.
was.
There's actually 5 branches of government: the executive, legislative, and judicial. Everybody knows that. And then it's
That's the 3.
The General Assembly, and then we the people in Assembly. That's the 5 branches.
Okay.
And we the people in
Everything works for
Assembly
we the
have.
people.
Say that again, please.
Everything works for we the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are in
Supposed to.
charge. Supposedly. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they
Let's clarify
let me
that.
put a
the better way to
let me put a little burr into your craw. Everything you guys are saying is absolutely true, right up until the Act of 1781, which made a completely and separate second constitution, which made the USA of America Inc., which made all of the executive orders and all of this stuff possible, because any violation or any executive order that they did since Washington has gone against the specific written rules in the original draft of the Constitution. And it's specifically the 1781 or the Act of 1870 or 1781.
Yeah.
Like that when
Can I
they-
expand on that?
Please. People need to know this. And stop, go ahead.
Yeah, the Organic Act of 1871 is just what he said. The Virginia Corporation changed its name to the United States of America Incorporated, and ever since then we've been under corporate rule. Now, the phrase I was going to spit out earlier was that the government has that phrase of acceptable levels of contamination. Any government that has that phrase that they use often is not worth anything. Now, this is the same thing where you go to your grocery store and in the back they have stacks of soda cans and stuff like that in the back. Now, they won't tell you outright that there's rat droppings and all that stuff, but that's acceptable levels of contamination. This can be applied to our food, our medical care, all this stuff that it pertains to us peons, we the people. Now, going back to the Organic Act of 1871, quite frankly, Wizard, I would like to talk to you on a personal basis about the assembly itself, because I'm a part of it. And anybody else who might be interested in taking control over their counties and states, I would encourage you to write me an email at vex@post.com. vex@post.com. And I'd be happy to go over a lot of this stuff with us and get our shit back on track.
Okay.
Yeah,
I may
you're
need
100% correct.
Do you have a way to contact Susanna?
Yeah, she's in
Or
my
anybody
Discord.
that might have. Okay, Susanna, do you have my email? I know you and Stuart have my cell phone number. Not that you ever use it. Susanna, hello.
Isn't it fluffy panties at Gmail?
I could text
No.
it to you.
Yeah, if you would text it to me, that'd be awesome, sweetie.
Okay.
So I can, because I'm driving, so I can't write, and I gotta pee, and I'm still drinking more coffee. Nobody ever accused me of being the brightest bulb in the box, okay?
Well,
So if
well,
I could just add like one more,
go for it, Wizard.
if I add just one more point to what Vex was saying, if you were to look at like all the wars and all of the bailouts and all of the everything, foreclosures, everything, how does it benefit the people or the person?
Which our government has been
It's not
structured
intended
around
to
from the beginning.
benefit us.
You're both are absolutely right. It absolutely, all the money goes to big pharma, the military industrial complex, the foreclosure courts, and all the fraud that goes around in our legislative and our court system.
All the Afghanistan
it's- like I said, I mean,
transgender
they're just-
studies.
And
Can I
Pelosi
point something out real
might
quick? If you remember back when Obama was president, remember when they did that big government bailout? They bailed out all these big companies, like massive
Yes.
corporations. Did anybody's mortgage rates go down? Did anybody's car payment go down? No.
Nope.
What it cost us never changed. And I'm
don't mean to
personally
be
would
a-
really love to know how in the fuck, and I'm gonna say this flat the fuck out, how in the fuck do multi-billion-dollar corporations like automotive manufacturers, when you can see on the road there's Ford, Chevys, Dodges, Toyota, Nissan, Honda, Hyundai, all these damn cars out here, people are buying them all the time. How you gonna tell me they're going fucking broke and the government needs to give them a big old fat check to get them out of a tight spot?
Yeah,
Bullshit.
it goes against just straight up capitalism. If your business is good, it should succeed. If it's bad, it should fail.
Precisely. But you take billions of government money, well, billions of taxpayers' money, and you bail out, we're going to bail out these massive corporations, and they have to pay it back. Whose fucking pocket is that money really going into? Because if they were paying all this money back, how come our debt just keeps climbing?
That's
Interesting.
that's
Well,
what I was looking at.
I can actually, I'll answer that for you, and I have
Jesus
it in
Christ,
a
I actually
two-part
sounded
answer.
fucking intelligent.
Write that down.
Yeah,
Give me a
who
what-
knew?
Oh, shit. Somebody take a note on that shit
So
for me.
I'll
Hold
answer
on.
that.
Hold on. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll answer that in a two-part answer. One with a correction
shit.
and one with an answer. More of I hate to do this, but it's not capitalism. It's actually imperialism, because it has nothing
good
to
point.
do with the general populace. It has to do with the London City Bank and the 13 banking families and the Vatican. That's a whole different fucking bag of worms.
Okay,
But
now you don't went too far.
and
You
the
brought
answer
the
would
Vatican
be-
into it. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Right.
He's like, oh, fuck, it's one of them
when
shit.
everybody's born. Nope. When everybody's born, they all get a birth certificate, and when you have the birth certificate, that automatically entails you to be worth $650,000 on the open market between the ages of 18 and retirement. So they're hedging that $650 times, as many people has a birth certificate. I mean, go to any online trading platform and put in your social security number. You'll see the account is open. You can't get to it, but it's damn sure hedged against. And that's why we
What?
have over almost $400 trillion in derivatives, because the leverage from like the modern day debt is leveraged towards all of the people and their potential earnings.
Yep.
But what's even more disgusting is you think that those hedges are only for people, that are 65 now. Those hedges go to like 2050, 2060, 2070 on the market. That's where you get fiat currency from, is from that hedge. Since there's nothing else to back it, did you ever wonder how a currency can be backed by thin air? It's not. It's actually hedged by you and me, and the potential earnings and
Yeah.
tax revenue that you get throughout your career.
And there's a whole
Yeah.
bunch. It comes to our
shit.
thing and our social security number. You know how many people's got your name and made a business out of it?
Not to mention, you can also bring it up
No, I
to
mean-
the state level, and they have incorporated our states.
Yeah.
You can actually go and check on
Agreed.
Dun
And
and
that is-
Bradstreet.
Most certainly.
Uh,
You are 100% on the fucking money.
Senator
And this
No,
is coming from somebody that's worked in finance for 30 years.
that's what got me about Senator Hams, Mr. No, is that he actually showed where your social security number is all in capitals, and using capital makes you incorporated as a business.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
I
It's
looked
a
at-
legal fiction.
Yeah. And I've seen
Agreed.
people say
And
they
that's-
can. I've seen people say they can actually get their money back from it if you call them and tell them that you don't want them to use your name without your signature, but your signature is in capital, but you can't copy the capitals, capital letters.
Yeah.
You can't write the same
Yep.
as a computer can.
Right.
So when you die, they collect the money.
Exactly. I mean, this
I
is
don't know
stuff
if you
that,
can get
that
it back. I mean, unless you're. Sorry, go
well,
ahead.
what I was going to touch upon was the fact that each of us have been incorporated. We just discussed that, and honestly, they've taken out a loan on us. Essentially,
Yeah.
You have to understand that they treat us like cargo because that's the way they legally list us. So we are a product of the corporation, according
correct-
to them.
The correct term on the contract is actually called chattel.
There you go.
ChatTle, chattel. And
There
that's
you go.
coming from the vice president of the World Bank. So, I mean, she was there for 21 years as a lawyer. So, my 30 years, her 21 as from the World Bank. I don't know. Starting to sound a little bit, get a little bit validified.
Well, that's like I forgot that guy's name that he always talks about gold. It's like his daddy was saying. I even actually called the RS about the law on the taxes,
Mike Maloney is the
and I know that it says if we wanted to pay tax for war, I got the tax papers of the '60s where it says if you support war, you pay it. If you don't have to. But the way they said it is, since all the people's paying it, it's a law because it's by the people. And I'm going like, well, nobody voted on it, but you got to pay the tax anyway.
Well, let me confirm what you're saying with something that everybody might be able to understand. If you get a letter in the mail accusing you, like from a lawyer, accusing you of having a house and you still owe something on the house, if you
He did it again.
if you don't
Go ahead. He'll probably be back.
if you don't okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We
If
can
you get
hear
a letter
you.
in the
Can
mail
you-
from a lawyer that says you did something wrong or whatever like that, then if you don't respond with whatever the response it is, the just not responding is a sign of guilt and a sign of complacency, like you're compliant to whatever the demands are. So if you look in the IRS code, there is no law that says you have to pay taxes. In the Bill of Rights, there is no law that says you have to pay taxes. Now, they try and say that the 17th or the 27th infers that taxation without representation, blah, blah, blah. That only
Hello,
works.
hello.
We hear you.
That only works after the Act of 1781, because now you're in their corporate structure, and in the corporate structure, that verbiage is actually valid in a corporate arena. if it was the original pen document by the founding fathers, that'd be a blatant violation, and they know it. And that's why they had to enact the Act of 1781. So they can do all this stuff in the future with fiat currencies and the war machine, blah, 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 because everything back then was, all J.P. Morgan, in the 30s, do me a favor, if you want to find something else really fun, from 1999, go backwards every 70 years was one of the United States of America Inc. bankruptcy. And at every one of those 70 years was a major, major war, which fueled the military-industrial complex, which gave jobs and all this kind of stuff, which propped up this, economy like a house of cards, but the house of cards was actually made out of pasta. So it was imploding as soon as it was started, but you can never run an economy on a fiat currency, and they knew that. And when they took the dollar off the gold standard in 81 or 1971, they knew it because they couldn't do all of the all the financing that they could do with all these wars and, missing $20 billion. Rumsfeld was on the floor of the Senate one day, and he's like, there's like $2 or $20 billion missing from the United States coffer of cash. You notice in like the last 20 years, we haven't heard word one about where that money went.
Yeah.
Just swept under the rug, just like everything else. But if you had a currency that was backed by gold, silver, or whatever, you can't manipulate it like you can a fiat currency.
That's
literally, I mean, the dollar's like, toilet paper. You just wipe your ass with it. It's not
what I usually do with mine.
If you think about it,
right?
It's been 3 times they have did that since then, since 2000. Lost money, and they never can figure out where it went.
Yeah, just like a few
here's
nukes.
The thing about, here's the thing about 1999. That was the year of the United States of America Inc.'s 3rd bankruptcy. And if you're coming out of bankruptcy, you no longer need a CEO. So if you're a trustee, excuse me. So if you don't need a trustee, which is the president of the United States, then all the government should have been closed. Everybody should have been fired because there's no more trust. There's no more bankruptcy. So for the last 21 years, we've been living a fraud. Technically, if you really want to look at it, anything after, the signing of the Declaration of Independence has all been fraud. Because none of those, well, in modern times, there's no chain of evidence to do any of the amendments that they did because the original signers of the document aren't present. And you have to have that continuity of evidence to keep going with everything that happens. So the founding fathers would have had to take their authority when they were on their deathbeds or whatever and give it to a group or somebody like that so you could have that continuity of evidence.
Yeah.
Without the continuity of evidence, anything and everything that was signed before Washington was a fraud.
Mm-hmm.
So if the world knew that the United States was a complete fraud, they'd be in here walking all over us, stealing our jobs, crossing our borders. Oh, shit. Wait, that's happening.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with Obama. You remember he sold the slavery bill, and you remember what the judge said. If you sell that, you can bring that back up in the future. And people didn't believe it. But he sold it anyway. Got away with it. And now look what we're seeing.
Right, but it was all fraud to begin with. I mean,
right.
It's a corporate America. It's not a declaration republic anymore.
Yeah, I could actually put it in simple terms.
Please.
You getting pulled over
That'd be
for
fucking
not
nice.
having your vehicle. You can get pulled over for not having proper registration on your vehicle, right? So, in all actuality, you do not, I repeat, you do not have to have your vehicle registered unless it's a commercial vehicle. Period.
It's just like you didn't have to have a driver's license unless it was a commercial vehicle.
Exactly that.
Because the driver's
all been a
license was
bluff.
for interstate commerce. Yeah, I remember seeing
Right.
that.
We have a right to
Well,
free
look at the
travel.
bottom.
Period.
All the statutes that they're using in any kind of traffic stop are all UCC regulations, Universal Commercial Code. I'm sorry, in my private car, I'm not a commercial entity. So the
Right.
fraud starts there. Now, if I do go to court, who's the injured party? Bring forth a claim that I actually did something. Proof to me on paper with wet blue ink. But I say this, and I paid a fucking $750 fine after, doing 95 in a 55 construction zone outside of Metropolis, Illinois. Don't ever fucking do that, let me tell you.
No shit. Even I'm smart enough not to do that.
Well,
Just
I had
saying.
to pass a rig.
Oh yeah, fucking truck drivers always in your way. Impatient ass
As a matter of
four-wheelers.
fact, I'm going to
what's up?
court tomorrow because I don't have any registration on my vehicle. And I'm going to go in there tomorrow and tell that judge how stupid he is.
Storage. You're looking at our long.
Ooh, what's that?
What the fuck?
Wasn't me,
It was me.
Jackie.
Somebody's watching
Mute
porn.
your damn mic before you go doing that shit again.
That's what I did. I cut it off.
He's looking at Stedding's OnlyFans page.
Bow chicka bow wow.
No, I had to
Yes.
see what the prepper had.
Moonlight. You do not have to register your tags, or you don't have to get tags for your vehicle. It's let's see if I can remember the code for it. 18 USC. I want to say
1001.
section 18, but it falls under airplanes and motor vehicles, and it clearly states that only commercial vehicles have to be registered. Now, I wouldn't attempt this unless you do a little research, just because you have to, whenever you go up against a judge, they're going to make you slip up. That's their job. Their job is to perpetuate the bluff. So you have to know what you're doing when you counter it. Like I said, I'm
Better
going
be right,
tomorrow.
because
Yeah,
he's going to threaten
exactly.
you with contempt and everything.
Oh, absolutely. The last judge I went before was very pissed off at me. It was kind of funny because there was a courtroom full of people who were just regular everyday people that had to come into the court, and I stood up there and said it loud and proud, 18 USC, and rattled off the number of it and said under that, and airplanes and motor vehicles, it clearly states that only commercial vehicles have to be registered. So this is null and void.
Did it work?
And yes. Now, granted, I was more precise in what I was saying. I'm simplifying it for, right here, because I encourage everybody to look this up on your own. 18 USC are the gold mine for we the people.
Oh, yeah. They're using their own sections and statutes against them.
Well, see, that's
Well,
the
that's
whole
just
thing
like-
about
it's
it.
a money
We
game.
wrote those. We the
Yeah.
people wrote those for them to follow, not for us to follow, for them to follow, because we the people rule this bitch.
Right, but where
Well,
did
we
all
used
the
to.
where did all the lot logistics and legislation and all this stuff get all bastardized?
Last 100
Right.
years, greed.
It was.
Because if you look at
It
it,
was-
it's
Go ahead.
if you look at it, the last 100 years, maybe a little more than that, it's become a money game. I mean, all of a sudden, you go from having your Second Amendment right to a state has the right to say, well, you've got to apply for this permit and it costs this much. And if we think you are okay to do it, then we'll let you. Oh, you want to build a house? Well, you got to pay these fees. You got to pay for. We'll send somebody out that we have chosen to inspect it.
Mhm.
And oh, you want a car? Well, you're going to pay taxes on that car. And now you're going to register it. You're going to pay for a driver's license. You're going to pay for this. And we've been getting nickeled and dimed to death by local government, state government, federal government. It's all a money grab. And if you look, I want to say the last 1 to 120 years is when it's really, over that period, it's really picked up. Used to be, you bought your land from Joe, put your house on it, you decided how you were going to build your house, you built the fucking thing. That bitch falls on your roof, the roof falls in on your head, that's your ass. You should have built it better or asked somebody to help. Now it's, everybody's got to check everything. And, the way somebody told me was, well, we got to make sure your house and the way you choose to build it doesn't bring down your neighbor's property value.
No,
Well, you know what? His property only holds that value to someone else that wants it that bad.
it started around
Right, you're
1880.
absolutely right.
That's when it started, 1880. When it comes down to property and anything you want, that's when they started forcing it. In 1900s, that's when the Congress would sit there and force people to do stuff. That's when they started doing that. What was that? Alcohol.
Right around the Act of 1874.
That's when they started it, is because they was trying to get revenue for the Congress and them, but they already supposed to be fixed on a fixed rate. That's why we got all these rich millionaires in Congress and Senate when we don't really need them. If we would have went back to the old ways, that the whole nation votes as one to pick each leader, it would never happen. They don't do that. They are not going to let us do that. Because if a Democrat,
Right, your representatives are part of the corporate America ever since back then. It's the only way they can make money. It's the only way they ever have any power.
Yep.
But if you got a good old common guys, 2 guys or 2 girls together, and they're both Democrat and Republican, they all start seeing all the laws is only fitting to the people who gets in office, they would shut them down. They don't want that.
Well, I mean,
Well,
that's splitting.
look at this as well. One other quick thing I want to point out. How is it that Senate and people in office
Roboto.
I think it went off. Yeah.
You're breaking up again, Steading.
serve we the people, but yet
Maybe.
it's okay for a lot of us to make 15,000 a year, 25,000 a year, 22, 35, 60, 80. Why do they need that kind of shit? Drop my phone. Why do they need that kind of finance?
Yeah, they passed.
I mean, you got people like. Oh, go ahead.
They passed that down to the families. It's like what Bush, what they call that, legacy, passing it down through the legacies of each person.
Yeah.
Well,
you look at most of them up there. Right. You look at most of them up there, and if you pay attention, they preach about education, but yet their kids go to private schools. But our kids should be products of public school. They don't want school choice. They send their kids to Ivy League colleges, and yet we should be okay with.
Yeah, it goes back to the moral parts. That's what you're saying.
It goes back to the we're better than you. I mean, simplest fucking terms.
Well, it kind of does, but have you ever heard or watched the video Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars?
Yeah.
No, haven't seen it.
it'll answer.
Unfortunately,
every
I
one of
can't
your
click on
questions
anything
you
in
have.
here, so. Oh, I
It'll-
know the
I mean,
answers to
so-
my questions. We the people need to grow some damn balls and have another revolutionary war and let them know, hey, look, we're done with this shit. We're fed up with this, and this. You guys have pushed long enough,
Well,
and that's the only way we're going to fix it. I'm sorry. Votes and all that shit, they've already proven they don't give two flying fucks about what we have to say.
Me as a Democrat, I'm gonna give you an example. Me as a Democrat, I bet you all my friends got mad at me, but I made a good point to them to really take a good look at what I looked at with Trump. Trump was the only president per year $1. All them other people was making money, tons and tons of money over and over, but he was only making $1. If we would have went back to the same.
and you believe that?
Oh, he's got all that other stuff, but don't forget he's a billionaire. He don't have to work. He didn't have to do nothing. But you got to think. We would have went back and started thinking.
If it comes out of Washington D.C., I don't believe a damn word out of their mouths.
Yeah, but you got to think.
Trump was making money hand over fist when he was president.
He's going to always be making money. He's a billionaire. But you got to think. If we would have sat there and took that knowledge that he had for $1, and you look at each one of them people and look at their payrolls and say, hey, we ain't going to pay this no more. We're going to put you back on a damn higher standard of living. You wouldn't have no Congress or Senate because they're that crooked.
The way our government was supposed to be originally structured was the federal government was not supposed to be permanently in session, more or less. We were supposed to send a representative from each state to gather once a year to do certain things. You know, if say my state of Missouri, we're having this issue with fighting the government about our reinforcing the Second
I found out
Amendment.
where he's at. No, I'm coming for you now, boy. No, I'm just kidding.
Come get some.
Ooh. Spanky, spanky. But no, I know what you're saying. But Congress voted to get all that shit changed. And they should have.
And it was
right. Go ahead.
It was the elimination of the 13th Amendment. If you go back into, I think it's Michigan's original constitution, it still has it in it. But it's the 13th Amendment that prohibits titles of nobility and stuff like that to be in our government. And they got rid of that because of the lawyers. Because the lawyers were never, ever supposed to be in our government. Our founding fathers saw that and said no, because the British accredited registry is out of England, the Crown. So essentially, we've been fighting the Revolutionary War ever since the Revolutionary War started. It's never ended.
That's right. That's one of the judges who wear them robes.
You could not be any more right.
Well, yeah, judges are basically imposing maritime law on us. And once you step past their little gate, you walk into their jurisdiction.
100% correct.
I learned that the hard way. I had one tell me he was God while he was in the courtroom, and I looked at everything, and I'm going like, this is the British Parliament or courthouse. And the more I kept looking at the flags and the way everything was said, I just turned and said, okay, if you're God here in this building, and you walk out that building, you're going to meet me out there, and I'm going to show you what God of the streets looks like. I still got 2 days in jail, but I didn't have to pay the fine.
Well, and quite frankly, you could probably go back at them about those time you spent in jail and get
money.
Yeah, because anything that goes against the Constitution is null and void. Period.
Yep.
That's the way it was set up. They have essentially just glazed over that and started bulldozing whatever they want to put in. Because, like I said, they're full of lawyers. Lawyers should not be there because legalese is not the American language. Period.
Common law is.
That's right. God's
Right,
law,
it's supposed to
common
be
law.
Simple English. So that an educated man and an uneducated man could both understand the exact same thing and not come to two different conclusions, but come to only one.
Yeah.
For example, at what point does a convicted felon, once he's completed served his time, whether it be probation, parole, prison, jail, at what point does he become less valuable than any other citizen that he doesn't have the right, the constitutional right, to protect or defend himself against whatever may come?
The law
It
was
does,
supposed
but
to be
they changed
interpreted
that.
easily by the uneducated
Right.
and the educated alike.
Yeah. That's why me and Janet Black, I think Wizard knew who I'm talking about, Janet Black Ward, North Carolina back in the old days. She ran the bar and she picked the judges and the lawyers on the west side. And we had the east side, a different person till she got it. Now she's worldwide because she started out free legal. When me and her bump heads, she tries to throw all them fancy words in there. I told her by the Constitution, we need to go back to God's rules. What is right now, not later. She couldn't use her education words to trick nobody if you have to use common sense wording.
Exactly.
Well, that's an odd license plate. 13 double E 13 13 EE13. Okay.
What do you see them
That
there?
spells out
Go for
like beep, 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 beep.
it. I seen them state
Yeah,
licenses have different numbers, and I seen them all go 1-1, and seen another one had 0-0, and another one said 9-9-9-9. I'm going like, okay. They
Yeah,
go
I'm gonna
straight.
I'm gonna put a link in the chat for a website that I found that will actually print you up plates for the common law.
Well, actually,
And
what?
As soon as I can, license plate that you can put on your vehicle instead of the plates that they want on your vehicles, and essentially,
Oh,
basically saying it's a private vehicle that they're not allowed to mess with you. And I also put the link in. I also put a link in the chat to the National Assembly site. That's where we're trying to come together and basically take back everything that is ours. We're continuing what our founding fathers started, essentially. We're doing it by the book, by the Constitution, by God's law, by common law.
But you're
And I would
notifying
encourage everybody to go there. I'm sorry, I stepped on somebody.
But you're notifying them in a corporate fashion, so they actually will read it when it comes across their desk. Very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Using the postal service. Very nice. Return
Yes.
receipts. Brilliant.
Yeah, I would
The
encourage
fraud.
everybody to check out the National Assembly. It's a wealth of knowledge about the way it was originally supposed to be set up, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. What we need is people. So if I had the power, I would have you all go there and check that out right now. Sign up with your state and get with other people there. If you have questions about it, like I said, my email is vex@post.com, and I'd be happy to walk you through it and talk to you more about it. Now, go ahead, Pepper.
I was going to ask Susanna if she could forward my number to you. Because I believe she said she's got your number or your email address. She could kick it over to you. That would be great, because that's the easiest way. Unfortunately, I'm driving and I got StreamYard and everything up, and I go clicking around. Trust me, I'll boot myself out of here, or I'll end the stream on accident. But yeah, that assembly one, I would love to get more information on that, because I firmly believe that our country needs to be returned to its rightful owners.
Right.
And back to the way it was originally supposed to be, instead of people going to Washington to become rich. That's not what our government was built around.
Well, I can
Exactly.
take it back a little bit further to probably 1775 when we borrowed $1.7 million from France to finance the revolution.
I read that.
So
I
it goes
agree
back
with you on
a
that.
long
Boy.
time.
In fact, where's that tag you was talking about?
Which one? I've been placing several.
One about private vehicle.
Okay. Yeah, I just put that in the chat. It's shop.freedomfromgovernment.org.
Okay, I gotta write that down. I like to have that to aggravate the cops in Kannapolis.
Yeah.
All right, you guys
Like
will
I
have
said,
to excuse me. I'm going to go make supper for my mama. And I enjoyed the chat. I want to get up here again. Vex, doing a great job. Brilliant, brother.
Thank you.
Susanna, have a great day. Cherokee, be brilliant, brother.
You too, Wizard.
Steady.
Brother.
Keep the shiny side up.
Hey, Wizard.
Always.
Hey, Wizard. Do you go on Discord?
I don't even know what Discord is. You can email me at prepperwizard@gmail.com.
Prepper Wizard, all one word.
Yeah, as far as I know. Nice seeing everybody in the chat. You guys take care of yourself. Lady Casca, hope you feel better. Be charming. Peace out, brother. Hutch, put some damn shoes on. And later.
Thanks for
you,
coming,
Good talking
Wizard. I
with you.
appreciate having you here. Oh, shit.
I like the dude's brain.
I put that in the private chat, Vex.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I might have to get that tag. I like that tag. I aggravate the hell out of Kannapolis cops.
Yeah, I keep talking about the assembly because I'm basically a recruiter for them. I've taken it upon myself to talk to. I want to be totally, legit with you guys. I'm doing this on purpose because it's what needs to be done. I wholeheartedly feel it, and this is the only way out of it, out of this stupidity that we're in the middle of. Outside of the assembly, the only other recourse we have is to load up our weapons and go take out
Go to war.
politicians and stuff and go messy. And that's not what we should be about.
Well, maybe.
No, that honestly should be last resort.
Exactly.
And only after they fire the first shot. Because we do love our country and we do respect the freedom of other people and such.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're welcome to come up anytime. Talk about the assembly and, dude, get your truck out of my lane. But yeah, if she sent that information over to you, excuse me, I would really appreciate if you wouldn't mind sending me the link in the text to my phone for the assembly. I'd like to check that out.
Absolutely.
I'm interested.
Yep.
Me, I had one person back in Obama time come up to me from government to my friend's place where we was working at, trying to get him to support Obama. And he knew his legislation real good. My best friend, he didn't know it. Well, I call him my little brother. I just turned around, he just sent him over to me. And every time that guy hit me with something with Obama, I turned around and asked that one question and showed him on video where he sat there and called himself God in a low tone. And I'm going, now look at that oil leak happened right afterwards. That guy couldn't say shit. And then I had to ask me you got to support him, or how do you look at Obama? And all that I could tell him, I don't like him. That was it. That's how I got canned from being a warehouse president. I would not support that person.
Right. And your gut serves you right in that aspect. I to tell you the truth, during Obama, I was pretty much clueless. So, you know, a little
Makes two of us.
confession on my part. I was one of the, you know, people who thought the news was right and stuff like that. So I was pretty dumb in that regard. But, yeah, I actually voted for the piece of shit.
Oh, I didn't have no choice that first
Uh-huh.
time. But,
Hold on, I'm kicking this motherfucker.
you'll probably agree
No,
with
I wouldn't.
if you go back to North Carolina, you'd have seen Robert Hayes, Elizabeth Dull, who was married to my godfather. I didn't even know him that good, except he knew that I mess around with veterans. Anything goes with veterans, I'll look into it. And I sat there and I watched and I asked questions. When Obama first came on, the first thing come out of my mouth was, "Where the hell this guy come from? Never heard of him, never seen him around." I went through Chicago area. Nobody really knew who the hell that dummy was unless you started hitting the G word. Then people knew, and I was going like, well, I'll vote for him once. I ain't going to vote for him no more. And I knew he was a liar. And then you remember Senator Hams, which they called Mr. No in Congress, and Thurman, both of them said that's a snake. A black snake is not a good sign. Look what we got. We had him, and he didn't do a damn thing he said.
Oh, he did the opposite. He made it worse for us. Obama was the beginning of the end for this government. I don't say our government because it's not our government. This government, it was the beginning of the end. That son of a bitch gave away our internet.
Yeah. What got
That
me
pisses me off.
Yeah. Did you notice that he got to work for the UN at the same time being a president? And that's against the law. That's what missed more than anything was that.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, everything they've been doing. I mean, it started with Clinton and his, you know, definition. You know, what does "is" mean? You know, really, yeah, that's stupid shit. That's that lawyer legalese bullshit.
Yeah.
That's when everything started going downhill. Obama got into office and did a lot of things that were underhanded to, like I said, get rid of the internet and a bunch of other stuff that we could probably, you know, list off a whole bunch of stuff.
Well,
But it was supposed to be Hillary.
When that happened, that pissed me off. And I was also one of those ones. You know what
I
happened
got to
to
leave
me
for a little
was-
bit. I'll be right back.
All right.
I don't.
You know
All right.
what happened? You know what happened to me was in the beginning of Obama's presidency. I didn't like him at all. I hated him, but for some reason I voted for him the second time. And after that, I was like, what the heck did I do? It was almost like whatever's happening to people now was happening to me at that time, but I just caught myself. And but I see people getting worse and worse too now, and it's weird.
Yeah, Obama, I think, really started the whole identity politics shit. You know, and I firmly believe a lot of people overlooked some of his policies when they voted for him and voted because they didn't want to be looked at as a racist. I'm sorry, but when you're voting for our president, the man that's supposed to lead this country, not run it, not rule it, lead it, it should have nothing to do with his color of his skin, should have nothing to do with his religion, and it should not have anything to do with his personal beliefs, but what is best for the people of this country, the American people. That is, you know, it is we the people. It's not I, it's not us, them, it's the American people. And I think here in the last few presidencies, maybe even longer than that, our country has really lost sight of that.
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay. Y'all were
And
being
then-
quiet. I was starting to think maybe I was gone or something. I'm like, what the fuck? All that shit. I sounded smart and nobody heard it. Fuck! Nobody will believe this shit.
Yeah, I was typing, so I
And
was
you-
No problem.
distracted.
You're fine.
And you know, back then you seen the division coming, you seen it happening, but nobody really said anything or did anything about it. And that's when I started, when it really started happening a lot more during his second term, it is when it hit me, and I realized what I had done, and I started thinking about it again and thinking, how did I even get here? I wasn't even that, you know, anything about him at all. It just I caught myself off guard. Um, and I think a lot of it did have to do with family and stuff, because I seen it, I seen it happening even worse now. And I see family spying on family and doing really nasty shit to each other. And it's horrible.
Most definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, and it's just gonna keep getting worse because of the multiple factors that are being put in on all of us. Like I said before, the dumbing down, fluoride in the water, the misinformation, all this stuff is designed to make you so confused that you don't know what to do, so that you look to the government for your answers. That's just the short of it right there.
Yeah, and it's and you can tell it's pissing him off that it's not working on everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you look at it. Well, you look, like you just said, you used a key term, misinformation. If you go back some years, it wasn't misinformation, it was difference of opinion.
I can agree with that.
Well, I mean, you could just look at the media, even back during the Hillary bullshit. You could look back all the way to there and see the difference in what is being said and what is not being said. I mean, you could go on to Fox News and get a Democrat's point of view and the Republican point of view on the show. Same thing with, I won't say CNN because, quite frankly, I never watched them. But other different NBC and all of them always had opposing viewpoints. Now there are no opposing viewpoints. As a matter of fact, if you oppose their viewpoint, you're a racist and blah, 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 all kinds of bad words.
Oh, here, I'll help
So,
you.
yeah.
You're a racist, a xenophobe, a misogynistic pig, xenophobe, homophobe, transphobe. But the funny thing is, they keep using the fucking word phobia. Phobic.
Yeah.
I don't
Well-
fear any of these fucking people. I'm not scared
Oh,
of
no.
them. I just have a different opinion than them. I personally believe your sexuality is your business. Whether you choose to be with a woman or a man, or you think you were misborn, that's your opinion. That's your life. Live it how it makes you happy. I'm happy as a heterosexual. I know gay people. I have no problem with them. They're wonderful people. They have great thoughts, great ideas. Some of them are amazing vocalists, artists, woodworkers. They work hard. They live their lives in peace and happiness. And they don't fucking judge nobody. And all they ask in exchange is don't judge them. Don't look down on them like they're less of a human being, because they're not. They're my equal. Just like I look at a woman as my equal. And if you look I'm going to be honest, it seems to me that ever since Trump and Hillary went at it and ran against each other, that's where it really fucking started coming out with the whole misogynistic shit and the transphobe. I mean, it was real funny and I pissed somebody off, and oh man, did they fucking come at me on Facebook. They started throwing around, oh, Trump's grabbing vaginas and he's a misogynistic pig and blah, blah, blah. And I said, you're pro-Hillary, right? Well, yeah. And I'm like, okay. You fucking forget about the shit Slick Willie did in the Oval Office with his intern, where she stuck that fucking cigar and all the lies and bullshit. Come on, fuck y'all. I said, y'all fake as shit.
Yep.
And that was the time where I decided, fuck these people. I'm tired of this bullshit. You know, it's a double-sided coin. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, oh, you didn't vote for our president, so, you know, you're against women. No, I'm against that crazy bitch. There's a fucking difference. I love women. I mean, at the time, I'll be honest, a woman called me a misogynistic pig. I'm like, what? Hold on. I gotta go look this shit up real quick. What the fuck's this mean?
Well, when that was happening, I got a kick out of.
I mean,
I lived in a greenhouse, and we had lesbians there. I never had a problem with the lesbians.
Good.
Lesbians would get drunk with me. Guys would do the same thing. Guys. But by golly, when Hillary and Trump hop in, it's totally different. But yet, them people still stay loyal to me because I just looked at it as is.
Yeah.
Well, like Vex was saying, you know, I think it elevated during that point in time because during the presidency before that, it was just, it was going at a pace. And that pace went faster when Hillary and Trump ran.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just went into warp speed. It went from slow and steady working their way to boom, fuck it, we there. Exactly. Good, damn good way to put it there, Susanna.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I have to go back and check on this. I'm correct when it really started real bad. Was on. I'm going to say around 2016, moving through 2017 is when it kicked off big time. That's when, if you go back to the signs of the stars, that's when the woman in heaven gives birth.
Okay.
So you have to think that's the biblical way of looking at it, but then you got to think that's when everything started shifting one-sided, and everything started speeding up. It didn't matter which what you was wrong for being open-minded to everything. Think about it. Everything we gained is just changing a snap.
Well, I mean, you take a look at, okay, Susanna voted for Obama. Vex voted for Obama. I think that was you that said that, right, Vex? Okay, once.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Once.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Too.
I'm not going to knock you for it. You know, that was your vote.
I knocked myself.
Yours. Well, you can be mad at yourself. I'm not going to be mad at you because guess what? I didn't vote in either of those two elections. So
shit.
On one hand, you know, I don't really have shit to bitch about. I personally, my biggest thing with Obama was I don't think he had enough time in office to be president. I don't think he, as far as a government official, I don't think he had matured enough in that regard or that aspect. I don't know what the right word for that would be. But that was my opinion. And I'm entitled to my opinion. Just as much as they have a right to their vote, I didn't agree with the vote. I didn't agree with him, but they voted him president, and for all intents and purposes, he was my president. I'm just like, you know, I don't like Biden. I think Biden's a bumbling fucking idiot, but he is the president of the United States, and I am a citizen of the United States. So therefore, he is my president. I don't have to like the son of a bitch. I don't even have to fucking respect him. Because there's no law that says I got to respect him or that I can't talk shit about him. But, you know, I think it was set up. I think this shit was rigged up so that they could get this far and do this because of Trump being in there and because they knew Trump was going to win a second term. And they all knew their days were numbered in office, all those swamp creatures up there. So they had to do something.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, I'm independent, and I voted for Trump both times.
Oh, I'll be honest. I'll tell you flat out. I believe your vote is your vote. You vote for who you think is going to be the best, you know, based on your knowledge and what you see. That's how I look at it. I may not agree with it. You know, I didn't disrespect anybody that voted for Hillary at that time. You know, like I told them, it's your vote.
Yeah.
You vote your way. I'm going to vote mine. Just don't fucking sit there and treat me like I'm the world's biggest piece of shit or I'm racist or any of that kind of shit because I voted for somebody I thought would be better for our country, for my fellow U.S. citizens.
It's like the way my aunt, the way she votes and stuff. I turned around and told her it didn't matter who wins. Who's ever president will be president. And the way I look at it, who does the job is the president. And the way I also voted is if I did not win, well, I got another 4 more years I can wait.
Yeah, I get another vote in 4 more years.
That's the way I looked at it.
Well,
so she goes what I did.
I'd like to make a distinction. In all actuality, Biden is the president of the United States of America Incorporated, not the president of We the People. He lost. Well, that means that Trump is still actually the president. Now, that distinction is...
I believe that too, but...
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I agree with you back on that because you got 2 different groups. One's the people and one's the corporate. Corporate's got it now. We could still step back. There ain't no way he could be able to pop in now, but after 4 years, he probably could, but I wouldn't do it.
You want to hear something crazy? You want to hear something crazy? If the assembly
crazier than the shit
gets
we've
enough,
been talking about?
It's kind of right along the lines of it. But
okay.
If
as long
the
as we
assembly,
don't get crazier.
if the assembly gets
ahead,
enough people, if it gets enough people, then all of that disappears. Literally.
Yeah, to a point.
They all lose their jobs.
Yeah.
And it is the individual states that make
nice.
up. Yeah, well, people don't realize right nowadays that each state is a nation state. I mean,
each
let
one's
that
a
sink
free
in a little
state.
bit. Well, yeah, it's just like
its own
Israel.
Kind of like the countries of Africa. Yes, you have Africa as a continent. A lot of people don't realize Africa is not a country; it is a continent.
Yeah,
Somalia is its own country.
But people aren't listening; they aren't paying attention, and a lot of them don't understand.
Fucking Susanna constantly cutting me off.
Yeah, but
I had to stand. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
But that's one of the things that I'm trying to
kidding.
teach everybody myself is that there is a difference in what's going on now and the way it should have been. The difference in the corporation versus we the people. We the people rule this motherfucker. I said that before. And if we stand up, it's written in their base code of what they follow, that once we stand up, they must sit down. Now, this all happened because, we talked about the Organic Act of 1871 earlier. But before that, wait a minute. Yeah. The Democrats walked out of Congress, which left the meeting of our government in limbo. Ever since then, it has been the military-industrial complex that has been in charge. Now, I say that in 2 veins. The military-industrial complex that we've all been warned about is one aspect of it. That is the corporate government that they're talking about. On the other side of that, is we the people in assembly. They don't want you to know that how much power you have. And that's why I keep saying, you know, if you guys want to talk to me separately about the assembly and stuff like that, my email, vex@post.com. Please contact me. I mean,
Well,
seriously.
you are welcome. Just a quick
Go ahead.
side note: you are welcome to put your email in the chat if you wish to.
I shall.
You're welcome to do that, so people can email you and talk to you about that. I say spread that word.
Yeah, the more people we get knowing the true nature of how this was supposed to be, the faster we're going to be able to, well, some people might not like this, but all these city cops, they will all lose their job. And if they want to continue in law enforcement, they better join the sheriff's department, because the sheriff's department is the true authority in each county.
And isn't it funny that it's
Because they're
mostly the
elected.
sheriffs, and it's mostly the sheriffs that are standing up for their rights.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Think about
Now- Go ahead.
me and Ghost Pepper hit that real bad when everybody's asking about sheriffs. Sheriffs goes by the constitutional oath, and that's all they stand by. And they are elected, so that's why they do stuff. The city cops ain't nothing but we can say
They're appointed. Yeah, well, like the chief of police, if you look at the structure of city police officers from the top to the bottom, top is appointed by usually like the mayor.
Yep.
And when you come down, you know, chief of police, his second in command, you know, as you start working your way down, those are chosen. They're chosen out of the ranks for those positions. And there's a similar structure to military as far as being promoted. You know, they have to take tests, they have to talk to board members, and then they're promoted to detective, or they're promoted to sergeant, or captain, lieutenant, or, well, lieutenant then captain. You know, they're...
You got to go through the training first. We know what you're talking about.
Right. But you look, even in sheriff's departments, they still have that. However, the sheriff is an elected position. He is elected by the people of his county or her county. Let me clarify that. By their county, his or her county elects them.
And the power of the people in each individual county is the true power of the state, especially when the counties come together and work together towards a common goal.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what we're working towards. It's something as simple as getting 75% of your counties and your state together to serve notice to the corporate government saying that we rule here and you can't tell us what to do. Which is how it originally is intended by the forefathers, our founding fathers. Now, they bulldoze this with all their traffic and all the judges and city cops and all the governor and lieutenant governor. All these people are under corporate rule. They will do only as they are told by the corporate government. They don't listen to us anymore. They don't have to, because they have taken our elections and turned them into a fucking joke.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, just look at the past 20 years in California alone. They will never have a Republican governor, ever. Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. They're both the same side of the same corporate coin.
Yeah, because you look at most Republicans in office, they're getting rich just like the fucking Democrats. And I'm getting to a point where I'm starting to believe that when they come on to TV and the Democrats come on, they're talking shit about Republicans in office, and the Republicans come on, they're talking shit about the Democrat. It's all a fucking show. Like, oh, yeah, keep voting us in. We're here for you. We're really going after these fuckers. No, bitch, no, you're not.
Imagine now that instead of our government as it is, imagine it as a Hollywood government. And that's what we see right now.
Exactly.
And,
That's a perfect way of putting what I was thinking.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but I gotta drop off because I gotta eat something before I go to work.
Okay.
All
I put my
righty. Well, thank you
email.
so much for coming up.
I put my
Well,
email
thank you
real
for
quick
having me.
back in the back there.
Thank you. I got you on Discord, so shouldn't be a big deal. But I'll take this too.
Back, you have a good time. I still hadn't eaten. I'm still waiting on breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm thinking about ordering me some hot dogs.
Yeah.
I like
Try some of that real meat instead.
That bug
Hey,
out.
Charming said it's been awesome, Vex.
I thank you all for in chat. You guys are awesome, man. Participating in this conversation just makes me so happy. So thank you all for participating, and thank you,
Well, hell,
Prepper Steading, for letting me come up here and
you're
basically
welcome.
just go
Anytime.
off.
Hey, anytime, man. It's been quite informative, interesting, and educational at the same time.
Yeah,
Hell,
go
I
ahead
even
and-
said some intelligent sounding shit.
yes,
Yeah,
you
thank you,
did.
Vex.
I'll go ahead and throw my YouTube channel in, and then I got to take off.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw that channel up there. Matter of fact, anybody else that wants to throw some channels up there, go ahead. If you got a blue wrench, you pretty much have at it. You got a good channel you want to promote, throw them up there. You want to promote your own, throw it up there too. Yeah, send me that Discord link, Vex, if you would. When you get some free time and you send it to my email or my text.
Yeah, real quick about that. I have an old flip phone, and I can't do that really well.
Okay.
Maybe we can use Susan as a go-between.
Hey, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll sit. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what. Can you text at all,
Yes.
Vex? Okay. Just send me a text. All it's got to do is say Vex.
Okay.
Send me a text. I will send you my email address. And you can put it into your computer from the phone. And you can email that stuff to me if that'd make it easier for you.
That would be perfect. I'm getting ready to send you the text now.
Okay. Uh-oh, here it comes. Oh, shit.
What happened?
Hold on.
There it is.
There's your sneezes.
All right. Text has been sent.
Text has been received. What the fuck kind of picture is it? Vex! Be sending me on shit like, what the heck? Is
You
that
weren't
even
supposed to
humanly
say it out
possible?
loud.
I'm just wondering if that's
Yes.
even really human. Oh, it is. Oh, damn.
I'm very limber. I'm very limber.
You too.
I didn't know a man could get his ankles behind his ears. Shit.
Well, of course you can. You just have to practice and stretch every day. I mean,
That's
you can do it.
Great. Now I'm going to have a bump on my head when I fall off the bunk trying.
All right, I got to get going. I'll see you guys. Thank you again.
All right. Thanks for coming. Love to see you next time.
Bye, Vex.
Absolutely. Take it easy, guys.
Okay,
Be
brother.
safe. Later, Vex. Oh.
A prepper steady. You knew you got to look like a Bigfoot later on down. You got about 15 more years. That's what you'll look like.
What?
Yeah, you'll look like an old Bigfoot. Just keep that beard going. Comb your hairs on your arms, on your chest. And you'll look just like a little Bigfoot. An Irish one.
Fuck you been drinking?
It's better than
What the
calling
hell's in that cup of tea you was sipping on? That
vodka.
wasn't no fucking tea. That must have been. Good shit.
Wife had me help her in the garden a little bit. She's doing her, I think you call them Brussels sprouts. She's cleaned that area out.
I hate Brussels sprouts.
I like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
Kick out of the grow. They look good when they growing. It's just when you decide to cook them.
We used to have one of the trucking companies I worked for. We had a guy that worked in the office at one of our other terminals, and he would bring in those. I what were they? I think Bird's Eye steam in a bag.
Yeah.
You throw the bag in the microwave, and he cooked those, and he'd open them up, and he'd just sit there with a fork and eat them out of the bag. Once he steamed them, he'd open them up, throw some butter in there with them, maybe like a little salt and pepper in, I don't know. But it always made that whole office area smell like ass. And that's my biggest problem with them is they stink. When they're steamed or boiled, they stink to high heaven.
This is how I learned how to cook, big guy.
I've never had them. I've never had Brussels sprouts fried. Okay.
It was some old books, you know what?
Yeah.
This is from Taylorsville, North Carolina. Apple, where they had the Apple Festival.
Okay.
That's
Hey,
what
I like recipes now. I ain't gonna lie.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They go from the 17 to the end of 1889.
Okay.
I was looking at them while I was looking at Dave Carberry's survival book, and he has recipes in there for squirrel, possums, raccoons. Now, big dog, every one of them is almost a match to what I got in my old books. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Think about it, eating a raccoon in a fire.
Done that. A little greasy, but other than that, it was well seasoned, properly cooked, didn't get sick.
How about them possums and the skunks?
There you go, Steve. Maybe that should help you out a little bit, brother.
That's
Steve throws another.
Vic's pretty good in that government.
What's that?
Say Vic's pretty good on that government.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of people in this country that know their shit. I think the biggest problem is a lot of people have lost sight of the Constitution, and they've lost sight and they haven't bothered to look at the things Congress has been allowed to change. And that's the only way you can put it. We allowed them to do it. They went in, they did it. They probably didn't tell nobody about it because some of these are 50, 60 years old.
Well, I looked at that one thing, that mandates. I want to know where the mandates came from. You know, I found out that it's actually supposed to be used for emperor. And in civil law, that's what it says. It's instructed to use for the emperor to his soldiers, to the peasants.
Yeah.
I don't like that word peasant.
Yeah, we are not ruled by kings. We are not peasants. We are free men and women.
And you know, I really like Vex, and I'm glad that I introduced you to him.
Yeah, thank you, Susanna. I greatly appreciate that.
Susanna, he's very flexible, though.
Mm-hmm. Wow! I'm gonna start trying to practice that shit. Come on here, big old fucking black eye, lump on my head. Susanna's gonna be like, fell out the bunk again, didn't you? Yeah, I did. Well, sure did.
He was trying that leg stretch. Well, who's got rain lately? Have you seen any rain?
Oh, I've been in and out of rain all day.
Damn. No, I still haven't seen none of it. You know, it's supposed to come up, and we're supposed to have, right now, we're supposed to be already in a tornado area till 6. But that was last night's news report, and I can't find shit now.
Well, I don't know about you, but I never go looking for shit. I look for the news and the weather, but I don't look for poo. When I want to find poo, I just check my diaper.
That's what I tell me. You know, the weatherman here, he's just stupid as hell.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, I can, you can text me your address or, shoot me an address. And I'll just come out to the house, stand on your roof and pee. And, I mean, you can come outside and call it rain.
They don't have nothing on there. That's what got me.
You see that, Susanna?
Hmm.
Beck said, me too, Susanna. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Vex. You know, Vex, you're welcome anytime to come up on my stream and, tell everyone the same thing you said here because, everybody needs to learn what's going on. A lot of people are still learning, and I'm sure a lot of people would still love that information.
I know a lot of friends would. Yeah, they still got us on a tornado watch. But I don't see no damn area that's going to be hit by no tornadoes. I think they put that up there to scare us.
I don't know if I was told to enter or bypass, so I'll fucking go in. Whatever.
Where you going in?
Way station.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I ain't worried about it. Phone's up on the dash, flipped upside down. Can't nobody see shit. As far as I know, I'm talking on my headset. If I don't like it, they can eat my ass.
There was one thing I was going to ask you. Is it, have any of them already called you yet?
What's that?
Remember 2 days ago when that guy was talking about the truck drivers? Have you had
Yeah,
any?
Paul.
Yeah.
I have not had any issues yet. Matter of fact, I'm being bypassed the scale now, so.
That's pretty good, then. That means somebody just had to forget what he said. They just ain't going to do it. They want their food. They want their lumber.
Yeah, well, you got to figure. A lot of people don't realize this, and I look at it this way. These guys and these men and women working the scale houses that work for the Department of Transportation for each state, because it's a federal thing, but each state has their own Department of Transportation. Well, those men and women also like going to the grocery store and eating and everything. So they know you shut down all the trucks for some bullshit reason, there ain't going to be no food for their family either.
Yep. That's the way I was looking.
So it's very likely they could just say, yeah, well, that's all good and fine, Mr. Biden or Secretary or whatever, but go fuck yourself. We ain't pulling that shit.
That's the only thing I couldn't figure out. In North Carolina, they already started doing it on the movie theaters, certain restaurants. And Kannapolis did have like 5 Hardee's and McDonald's and Burger King. The only ones left open from Hardee's, none. And that's messed up when you think about it.
Yeah. Hey, Han Solo.
They already opened up, but they mandatory go in and get. They don't want you to stay. So that's messed up. Well, I'm going to get off of this. I'll talk to you later, big guy. I'm going to go find me something to eat now. It's almost
all right, brother.
You got to think, I did pretty good. For 5:30, might as well say 6 o'clock when I get my shit.
Hell, I've probably been on here for 10 hours now, give or take.
Damn.
If if you count both live streams together and add them up,
You'll be close to getting monetized then.
I don't give a shit if they monetize me or not.
I know I ain't nowhere near that yet on my channel. And I ain't did the list, so anybody that goes and watch list, they can just turn it on. They can watch even the movies I watch.
Yeah. I've only got like 202 subscribers. Well, it might have went down by now. Probably lost one or two. Who knows?
I'm waiting on Angry Prepper Tribe to pop up.
He was in here earlier.
I'm talking about him doing his own streams again. You know, he used to do it all the time and he quit.
Yeah. I think he started getting a little burned out on it, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. You know? Because
you got to think he was like a radio man. He was down big time, acting like a radio announcer.
yeah,
Make,
I enjoyed his lives. Sometimes they were bullshit. You know, just people having a good time, shooting the shit. And, you know, other times it was things he wanted to talk about. He wouldn't let nobody up. And then there were times where, you know, he'd have certain people up because they had a certain topic they wanted to talk about. And I see by letting other people up, sometimes it tends to get off of topic if you let too many people up, you know. And so, I mean, you know, I look at it, it's his live stream. Let him do it the way he wants to damn do it. And that's all there is to it.
that's the way I looked at it. I called him Rush Slumbar.
Yeah.
Doing it because that was good.
Yeah, he did a damn good job at it, and I enjoyed it. And Tribe, if you're listening, we fucking miss it. Get off your ass and start doing it again, fucker. No, but I like when he does his lives. I hope he comes back to them.
And,
But I also understand needing a break and wanting to get away from shit.
oh yeah, well, you know, it's supposed to be summer. If you want to call this shit summer.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna get down too because I need a break.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and I will talk at y'all later. And y'all have a great day. Everybody be safe and be happy.
Hey, I'm gonna call you if I decide to do a live stream.
Mayor Susanna.
You,
Oh. Okay.
Suzanne.
Look for comedy, huh?
Well, you're just as wild. Susanna can always, yeah. If I spot her out there, I'll put her on anytime she felt like it.
You can let me know, Steady.
Okay.
I'll
I
talk
don't mind. You know, I don't mind if you text me stuff.
Okay. I promise. I'll keep the pictures, you know, PG. Nothing but
Hey.
nipples.
Oh, Susie, I see that too, but that's a lot of writing. I'll talk to you later, gorgeous. See you, brother.
All right. Later, brother.
We'll see you.
Oh, fuck. That
Are you
hurt.
okay?
Oh, yeah. Just a rough ass damn getting on this bridge. That kind of hurt a little bit. It bucked. That's okay. My spine will find its way back to where it belongs.
We'll see
Steve?
you, everybody in chat. We'll see you around somewhere, sometime. And
Yeah.
you too, Steady. Love you. We'll talk
Love
to
you
you
too,
later.
sweetie. You have fun. Slap Stewie on the ass for me when he comes home.
Okay.
Tell him I said hi when he gets home. Bye, sweetie.
All right. Bye.
All right, everybody. Great having y'all here. Thank you so much for coming and listening and enjoying the show. And y'all have a great day. And like I said, be safe, be happy, and I'm out of here. Later, y'all. Love every one of y'all. Y'all awesome. Bye-bye.